Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are checking out my channel for the very first time and you're interested in becoming a model, you definitely want to check out my content. I make awesome videos on a weekly basis where I give you guys some of the best tips on how you can become a model. Okay, guys, so we've been in this lockdown for a couple of months now, and I'm sure everyone is pretty sick of it at this point. I mean, models are out of work, the fashion industry has been shut down. There's just not a lot of movement happening right now. But the good news is that things are slowly starting to reopen. You're seeing a lot of businesses starting to open, and even some fashion businesses are also starting to open as well. So with that said, I wanted to give you guys 5 tips on what you guys could do to make sure you're ready for modeling after the lockdown coming right up. Okay, so one of the biggest tips I can give you guys for modeling after the lockdown is to stay ready. And I know a lot of people have put on some weight during the quarantine because, the gyms were closed as well. People were stress eating, sitting at home, not being as active as they used to. However, there's still some home exercises that you guys can do, other ways that you guys can lose weight, which I've mentioned in some of my other videos. I'm going to leave a link in the description box as well. So if you guys are not body ready, this is the best time to get body ready. And when I say body ready, if you need to shed a few extra pounds, make sure you shed those pounds right now. Don't shed it after the lockdown. If you need to add on muscle mass, make sure you're doing that right now. Again, there are a lot of home workouts that you guys can do to make sure that you're on the right track. So again, I can't stress this enough. There's not an exact date to when everything is going to reopen, but from everything that we've been hearing and all the signs and signals indicates that it's going to open pretty soon. And when I say pretty soon, I'm talking about within a month or so. So this is the best time to get your body ready and do what you need to do. Because once everything opens up, you're going to be going on castings. And once you go on these castings, if you're not body ready at the castings, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities, and that could impact the rest of the year for you. The second best tip for modeling after the lockdown is to update your book. So get new photography done, get new headshots, get new full body shots in your 3/4. If you're not yet signed and if you don't have a portfolio, what you need to do is to get your digitals done if you don't have them already. And it might also be a good time to also refresh your digitals. If you've submitted digitals and you didn't hear back from an agency, this might be a good time to refresh your digitals. So make sure you try to get these digitals done so that way you can start submitting to agencies now. So by the time everything opens up, you can actually set up meetings and go meet with the agencies one-on-one. So for updating your book, try to collab with fashion photographers. There are a lot of them on Instagram. If you're a signed model, you might want to reach out to your agents and ask for a photographer referral. Usually a lot of agencies would have a short list of photographers that they love their work. So you can reach out to one of those photographers and they usually have a really good rate, or they might even be willing to shoot you as a trade for print. So this is a good idea to update your book and get those new digitals done if your digitals just haven't been working for you. The next tip I'm going to give you guys is to learn how to pose. This is going to be very important because runway modeling is going to be essentially slow and if not dead for the rest of this year. Because think about it. When you do a runway show, it involves a lot of people. It involves crowds of people. Different artists from different disciplines have to come together to put a runway show and make it happen. So we most likely won't see a runway show the way we've seen it in the past for the rest of this year. A lot of runway shows have already canceled for the rest of this year. So we probably won't see runway the way it used to be until maybe later next year. So for now, this year is going to be all about commercial prints, editorials. So it's very important that you guys learn how to pose. And I've made videos on my channel, several videos actually, where I showed you guys how to pose for pictures. So this is going to be really important. Make sure you guys are practicing your poses so that way you feel comfortable in front of the camera and your pictures look great. Now this next tip is for aspiring models who aren't yet signed. If you want to get signed, this is the best time to start submitting. Don't wait until after the lockdown to submit to agencies. Start submitting now. Agents are not as slammed as they typically are when business is running as usual. So this is a good time for them to also catch up on their emails and those digital submissions. So if you guys are waiting for after the lockdown to submit, that is a mistake. You want to submit right now. Get those digitals done, submit, make sure you're writing a submission letter, and also make sure that you're leveraging your Instagram accounts to reach out to these agencies and to get noticed. If you guys meet the requirements and you follow the steps of how to submit to an agency and get signed, I've posted a video about that. If you follow those steps and you do meet the requirements, there's a good chance that you're most likely gonna get a one-on-one interview after the lockdown, and then you can get on the roster and start working as soon as everything opens up. My last tip for you guys is to set yourself up so that way you guys can take your own images. This is gonna be important because there's gonna be a lot of online castings going on after the lockdown. And actually some of the online castings has already started during this lockdown, where a lot of clients are asking the models to take the pictures, or they'll send the clothes to the models and have them take pictures and then send it back, and they would review it and cast based off the submissions. So this is already happening. This is a good time to touch up on your photography skills or to make some friends who can help you take better pictures. I've also posted some videos on this channel as well where I showed you guys how to take better pictures, even on an iPhone, and how to edit those pictures in Photoshop and other apps. So this is going to be important to know how to take your own pictures for digital castings, because this is going to become a thing after the lockdown. So those are my tips for modeling after the lockdown. If you guys have additional questions, drop a comment down below. Also, I'm really considering doing a YouTube live Q&A session. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to sub. I'll see you guys in my next one.